So somehow we're finding our way to the floor.
Somehow, yes.
And take a minute to just lay there and let your body talk back to you.
Well,
Not with words.
You gotta give me a minute.
Yeah. Take your time.
Oh.
Let your body tell you what it is that it wants to tell you.
Oh, God.
And you observe it without judgment.
Yeah, right. Which is
I don't
always
do
anything without judgment.
And if there is a judgment there, then look at it and just let it pass.
Look at it what?
Look at it and let it pass.
Oh, let it pass.
And slowly see if you can let go of the holding in the muscles, wherever your holding is. And very slowly take your time. Try to become one with the mat that you're laying on and one with the floor. And since we have a lot of new people, it will take a little bit longer today to observe how the body is laying on the floor. And notice that we have two sides. We have the right side and the left side. And we're going to start comparing between how the right heel is placed on the ground versus the left heel.
The right heel, did you say?
Yes, the right heel.
Oh, gosh.
And the right calf muscles versus the left calf muscles. Are they touching the mat in a different way? And the whole thing is just to observe. There's nothing to fix right now or later. We don't need to fix anything, but just to get information about how we are.
What if it hurts? Something hurts.
Then you pay attention to it, and maybe you wiggle a little bit and try to find a place that hurts less. And maybe after the end of the class, it will hurt less. And compare between the right hip and the left hip.
The right what?
Pelvis, hip. How that side is laying on the floor versus the left side. Is the middle bone in your buttocks flat or is it bony? And if it's bony, where is it bony?
All over.
And then as you go up, your shoulder blades, are they off the floor or on the floor? Is the right one different than the left one? How about your elbows? The right elbow versus the left elbow. Are the hands, are the fingers are pointing up towards the ceiling or down towards the floor? And your head, is it the center or is it tilting to one side, even just tiny little bit? And if I were to ask you to turn your head to one side, which side would you turn it? To your right or to your left? Then you answer yourself inside. Very quietly, just observe. And I would like to offer you to look at yourself as if you're wearing a striped pajamas. And you have stripes going all the way from the top of your head down to the bottom of your feet. And if you were to roll towards the middle stripe, towards a side that you want, how far could you roll and come back to the center? And go to the side that it's easier for you and see if you can roll your eyes, roll your toes, maybe roll your hip towards the next stripe and come back. So we're moving maybe less than 1/4 of an inch, maybe 1/8 of an inch, maybe 1/16 of an inch. From the center of the body towards the side that's easier for you. We're rolling towards the next stripe on our pajamas. And we come back. And notice if your eyes are moving as well as your toes, or maybe the hip. And ask yourself the question, where am I rolling from? What initiates that rolling to the next stripe?
Pain.
Which part of my body is the strongest that I start my rolling from? And let's all do it from the pelvis. Let's allow the pelvis to roll a little bit towards the side that you want to, the one that's comfortable, and come back. And keep on doing the rolling to that side, starting from the pelvis. But after you start from the pelvis, see if you can also do the foot on that side and the eye on that side. Ask them to join. So you're rolling a little bit towards that side, starting with the pelvis, but getting the head and the foot to be part of it. Maybe even your arms are rolling to that side. Starting from the pelvis, rolling to the next stripe, and coming back. If you can have your legs long, have your legs long. If you must have your knees bent, then do it that way. Maybe try both. And come back to the center and rest. See if you can lengthen your legs. And see how the body feels now laying on the ground. Allow a deeper breath to come in. And allow an exhalation to be complete. And the next time we're going to roll to the same side, start the rolling maybe from the foot, coming up to the pelvis and coming up towards the head. And again, we're going only to the next stripe. We're not trying to roll more than one stripe. And you decide how wide the stripes on your pajamas are.
Yeah.
So Julia, make a smaller stripe. Try to find the tiniest movement. And which leg are you starting to roll with? The side you are going to or the opposite leg? And try both. Try to start with a leg that you're going to that side and see how that feels. And then start with the leg, the opposite leg, and see how that feels. And your body is not really getting off the floor because it's just one stripe. It's about learning how to initiate and how to organize the body to be able to roll all the way to the side. Yes, we all know how to roll to the side. You do it every morning, rolling in your bed so you can get up, right? What I'm trying to offer is variations on the theme and a deeper knowledge and reorganization of the nervous system rather than say, oh, I can do that, thank you very much. So it's something as simple as rolling one stripe. Are there areas in the body that you are jumping over, not noticing them, not bringing them into the play? It's like having 5 kids in the family and one of them is refusing to take the garbage out. Where is that kid sitting in your body? Which part of your body is not coming to the organization of the whole system, that you can go into that rolling on to one stripe. And decide to yourself which leg was the more beneficial to start with for your nervous system to feel whole. When you did the opposite leg, did you feel tension building up in your abdominals? Did that feel good? When you did the leg that's going to that side that you rolled, did you feel that your knees wanted to bend a little bit? And that felt maybe a little bit more wholesome. Keep on asking the questions and answering yourself so you have a knowledge. And come back to the center and lengthen your legs if they are bent. And take a deep breath in. Just allow it to flow in. Just allow it to come in. And allow the full exhalation. And notice how your body is laying on the floor now. Is the floor a little bit more accommodating? And we have done pretty much nothing. And now we're going to start the same rolling to the same side, only one stripe, when we're going to start with the eyes and the head. Going down to the neck, to the shoulder, to the hand, to the hip, to the foot. One stripe. So the head is not turning more than one stripe. Can you be disciplined enough not to start an exercise and turning your head so your nose is touching the floor? I've been doing it for 40 years. It's really hard for me not to want to move. It feels so good to move. But can you spend a few minutes observing what it takes to start the movement?
To what?
To start the movement, to initiate the movement. And when you do start with the eyes and the head, how does it kind of vibrate all the way down to the arm, the shoulder, the arm, the pelvis, the leg, the foot? Can you feel the rotation on your elbow? And now try again from the pelvis, from the foot, from the head. Which one do you like more? All of them together at once? When you are rolling to that side now, are you rolling only one half side of your body? Do you feel the shoulder getting closer to the floor? Do you feel that buttocks getting softer and spread more into the floor? Do you feel the weight rolling on your heel to that side? And come back to the center and observe the whole side that you rolled onto to the side you did not roll onto.
Oh, no, that's fine. July 27th to 28th.
How different is that side in the way that it meets the floor
2 days.
from the side that you did not roll to yet?
Oh, we're gonna call you before it happens. You too. Bye-bye.
And take a breath in. Allow the air to just flow into your body. Notice which lung takes more. And exhale. And roll onto your side and come up to a sitting position. We'll take a short break. That if you want to give me feedback on how it feels from side to side, if you can actually sense what I took you through. Yeah, one side feels different than the other?
Yeah, when I was lying down, it felt like my left side, I'd been rolling to my right, and my left side was more energetic, and my right side was more passive and whooshing into the pad.
Mm-hmm.
Have you done this before?
No,
Wow.
Yeah. You didn't feel anything yet.
Yeah, confusion.
Yeah, that's okay. Just stay with it.
Okay.
I have done this class before, and I know that she moves micro movements.
Got it.
Yeah.
And the micro movement is not for forever, because once you know that the knee wants to bend, that the eyes are connecting to the foot, then you can roll all the way in an easy way.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah?
Do that again.
So this is the stripe. This is the stripe. But from the to the next stripe, and the next stripe, and the next stripe, and the next stripe, something needs to give so it's nice and smooth. And that's what we're going towards. But we have to start with the origin of the movement and understand how everything is organized together. Okay? So let's do the other side. So we're laying flat. And just in your mind's eye, think and visualize that moving to the stripe on the side that you did not do. And feel if there is a resistance in your body to go to that side. And if you do have a resistance, a slight resistance to go to that side, where is it? Is it in the head? Is it in the sacrum, the bony part in the middle of your pelvis? Is it down your legs? Where is it, and what can you do to let it go, to ease it? Will you roll with your head first? Will you roll with your hip first? Will you roll with your foot first? So we took good 15 minutes on the right side, but we can shorten the trip on the left side because your brain already knows. So kind of figure out which works for you the best and how to organize that moving one stripe on the pajamas to the side that you did not do yet, that we're doing now.
Well, she's gonna show me where they are.
And gift yourself with that quietness searching that's not so outwardly out in the world, doing, achieving. Just gift yourself with an hour of indulgence in exploration of your own movement, of your own nervous system. When you go to the next stripe, are you inhaling or are you exhaling? Or God forbid, are you holding your breath?
Yeah.
Hopefully not. I like to exhale when I start a movement. When my lungs are full, it's more effort. And keep on going to that side. And when you get to the stripe, start bending the knee a little bit of the leg that you're going in that direction. So if you're going to the left, you finish your first stripe and the left knee will start bending tiny little bit. And your eyes will go down towards that bending knee. If you're going to the right, it will be your right knee and your right, looking to the right. If you're going to the left, it will be the left leg. And again, just do a tiny little bit. And as your knee starts bending and the eye is going down towards that knee, notice if the other leg starts coming towards it. So you're going one stripe, your head and the eye are going one stripe, your knee is starting to bend, and the opposite leg, the toes are rolling up towards the ceiling. And then you come back to the center, you find the center, and you find the calmness, the quietness. So the legs are long, if possible. And when you roll to the side, one stripe, you roll to the side, and this knee starts to bend, and that leg starts to roll in, and then you come back. So we're starting to roll a little bit bigger than one stripe. Which side do you go to? Which direction do you go to? There? One stripe. Good. And this leg follows. And then you come back. Notice if you have tension in your toes, and if it's necessary, can you do without the tension in the toes? Notice if your eyes are following. And come back to the center. And I want to offer another, we're going to do the same thing, but I would like for you to visualize the opposite side. So once you're rolling to that stripe and the knee starts bending, the opposite leg, as the toes are coming up towards the ceiling, imagine that leg lengthening from the hip, allowing you to go one more stripe. Am I clear?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if you're going to the right, the left leg will start rotating and lengthen. To allow the opposite hip to come off the floor. There. And this will lengthen. There you go. Which will allow the hip to come off the floor. See if you can relax the toes, relax the ankles, and see if the movement can come from the hip. And now we're going to the third stripe, and to go to the third stripe, we have to lengthen the arm, the opposite arm, and let it come with the shoulder. So you're rolling to the side with the eyes, with the pelvis, with the leg. The knee starts bending, the opposite leg is lengthening, and the opposite arms are lengthening, and you're rolling to the third stripe. And then you very gently rolling back to the floor until you get to the very middle, and you take a breath. And you find the calmness in the body. And only when you're ready, you again start going into one stripe. And when the knee starts bending and the other leg starts lengthening, the shoulder comes off the floor, the arm is lengthening, and you're rolling from one stripe to the next until you're laying on your side. And you're on the side, that's where the theme is, between the front and the back of your pajamas. And then you're rolling back, one stripe at a time. Keep on seeing the stripes. See if you can move from one stripe to the next in ease. There you go. And then you roll back to the back. As if you're trying not to wake anybody. Somebody's next to you in the bed and you don't want to wake them up. How smoothly can you roll the stripes? To get to the... Wait. Keep on going, keep on going, keep on going, keep on going. One stripe at the next, 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 one stripe at the next. And each time, things are softer and more pliable. Which side are you going to? Which side are you rolling to? Okay, let's say you're rolling to this side. Okay? Like straight leg. So you start rolling to this side, and this knee starts bending, and this leg starts lengthening, and this arm starts lengthening, and you're rolling to your side. And then you very, very gently coming back to the back. Okay. Yeah, you're returning. Which one is first? Which one is second? How can one thing melt into the other where everybody is rolling? Your head, your neck, your shoulder, your fingers, your elbows, your legs, your hip. Then when you come to the middle, rest for a second or two. Collect your thoughts. And without doing, just in your mind's eye, See yourself doing it to the first side that we did in the beginning of the class. The side that was easier for you. And rehearse it in your mind. See it in your mind's eye as if you're about to draw it. What would it look in space? And then do it again in your mind's eye. And now that you're drawing it, give it a color in 3 dimensions. And then try to do it in real life. Notice which moves to the stripe first. Is it your eyes? Is it your foot? Is it your hip? When do you start bending your knee? When do you start lengthening the leg? When do you bring the arm and lengthen the arm? And how do you roll your stripes? And can you roll your stripe as if you were on a waterbed without making waves? Remember those waterbeds in the 80s? And do it again and again and again. When is your fingers rolling on the floor? Is the arm that's you're rolling towards lengthening as well? How much do you need to bend your knees? A little bit, a lot. What will make the best organization for you to be able to roll one stripe at a time with the least effort, so that it's economical? We don't want to spend more gas than we need, right? Maggie, how about if you move a little bit? Always too close to the wall because I want to be able to get up. To move to sitting, so. Yeah, like this, and an angle, so we have more room. And come back to the center and take a rest. Susan, we're going to go down now. Yeah. And allow the breath to come in and meet your lung on the right and meet your lung on the left. Allow the lungs to expand and receive the oxygen. And as you exhale, allow the body to just become one with the mat. Have as many stripes touch the ground now without effort. And the next step, we're gonna go to this, we're gonna roll, let's say, to the side that's comfortable. You're gonna get to the side. You're gonna put your opposite arm in front of your chest and you're gonna keep on rolling your nose to the floor to be able to lift yourself off the ground. So let's go through the stages. So you are starting to go to the first stripe, the second stripe, the third stripe. You bend your knees, you bring the opposite arm in front of your chest, you put it somewhere in front of your shoulder. You turn your nose to the floor. You press the hand into the ground and see if you can lift your torso off the ground. And that was last week's class. And come back to the floor and roll back into the waterbed without making waves. And again, roll to the side, bend the knees, bring the opposite arm in front of your chest, roll the nose to the floor and push the hand into the ground to see if you can come up to sitting. And then back down. So we're doing it from the side. So we roll to the side, we bring the hand, wait, lean. Let's all sit up. Put your hand next to the thigh. Bring the elbow down. Bring the hand close to the shoulder. Bend the knees. And gently, nose down, roll to the ground and come your way back to the ground. Straighten your body. And roll 1 stripe, 2 stripes, 3 stripes. Come to the side, the knees are bent. Put your hand close to the shoulder. Turn your head down so the nose is looking at the floor and push with your hand so you can lift your torso and you have weight on your hand and on your elbow. And you can swivel up to sitting. So going, like what you're doing, Julia, what you're doing going up and down takes a lot of effort.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to go down to the side, swivel down. The elbow will meet the floor. The hand will come up. We're going to gently roll to the side stripe and roll to the middle stripe. Take a breath. Relax. And when you're ready, roll to a first stripe, second stripe, third stripes to the side stripe. Put your hand next to your shoulder, turn your head, nose down. Now you're on your hand and your elbow and swivel from the side up. The reason it's hard for you because you're leaving the other arm behind you. So bring the hand and back. So as I turn, there you go. Yes. So bring your elbow down.
I have some limitations.
Okay. But can you bend the elbow now? Bring it a little bit more outside the mat.
I don't want to do that.
Okay, all right. And bend the knees. Can you turn the knees? So even if you're, okay, so let's say that we don't want, that's a really good thing. I mean, we're going to work with what we have, so because sometimes we do have limitation in life, right? So I don't want to touch, this is water or whatever it is, it's fire, I don't want to touch it. So I'm here, and I'm in a narrow place. How can I turn now from my hip and my knees? Rather than what we were doing here, I was like really luxurious here. If I'm confined, then I will roll from my pelvis and the elbow will go back. And then it will be a little harder, but it's possible. Okay? So play with the confinements that you're creating to yourself or that you have with body limitation. There's not just one way, there is a lot of different ways. And let's try the other side. The idea is that a leaf, when it falls from the tree in the fall, it doesn't fall straight down, boom. It falls in ellipse. And that's what we're doing here. We are going around and around and around and around and around and around and around, rather than trying to create a vertical force, which is so much harder. Is it possible to go straight up and down? Yeah, it is possible, but it's way harder. If we can use the elbow, if we can use the rotation, if we can use the circling up and circling down. Good, and go ahead and lie down. One more time. And visualize your center stripe. And see the next stripe next to them. And see the third stripe next to them. And notice how much of your ribs are laying on the floor. And what have happened to the pain that you felt when you just lie down? And allow a breath to flow in and expand the inside of you. Expand your lung, expand your heart. Expand your belly. Expand the organs in your torso. How do your shoulders feel? How far are they from the ground? How much of your palm of your hands is touching the ground? How much of your legs are touching the ground? And slowly roll to the side, and then slowly come up to sitting, and slowly from sitting get up to standing. Take your time, take your time. And notice how it is to stand erect in space. You can use inhale. And try walking a little bit and see how it feels to be upright.